This is the iFlyTek Smart Translator. It claims up to 98% translation accuracy, supports up to 60 languages, features face-to-face instant translation, as well as offline translation and 2 free years of mobile data. And it is also priced at just shy of $400. Inside this video, we're going to be testing this out to see whether or not it is the best translator that you can buy. In order to do that, we'll be breaking down this video into 4 main parts. First off, we'll start with the unboxing and seeing everything that's included with this translator. Then we'll move into the setup process and exploring all the different features. Thirdly, my favorite part, will be testing it out, seeing how well it does with translating. And then lastly, I'll wrap everything up with my final thoughts as to why this may be worth buying. Before we get into all that, I must say that I was sent this by iFlyTek to review inside this video. However, all of my thoughts and opinions are my own. And with that being said, here's the unboxing. Inside of the box, we are going to be greeted with the user manuals. We also get this pin for a SIM card slot, and underneath all of that, we have the translator, and we have a USB-A to USB-C charging cord. As far as features go, at the very top, we have our microphone, and at the bottom, a USB-C charging port, as well as a lanyard attachment. And on the side, it looks like we have 2 different buttons, a power button and a volume up and down button. And finally, on the other side, we have our SIM card slot. So let's go ahead, remove this plastic, turn it on, and see what it's all about. When we first turn it on, we see iFlyTek show up on the screen, and that brings us to the welcome screen where we can select our language. Then after that, it prompts us to slide up on the screen to see the different languages. You're gonna have your chosen language on the right and the target language on the left. All of the 60 languages will be alphabetized, so you can easily find whatever language you're looking for. You can also slide down to see all of your different settings. For example, we have Wi-Fi connection, we have Bluetooth, you can change the brightness of the screen, that's going to be full brightness, and then this will be the minimal amount of brightness. And then of course you can always change the volume up or down. And then we have 2 different icons up here. This one right here is actually a smart gesture icon, and this is where you can choose different prompts like speech translation, face-to-face translation, global internet, etc. The other icon is going to be your settings. And here we can change the look of the display, the Wi-Fi connection, the sound and vibrations, or even reset the device. Just for an example, within the display settings, you can choose lift to wake, standard font, or large font, and of course, screen brightness. And then from the main home screen, we can slide left to right. So if I slide over this way, you'll notice that we have a camera here. This camera allows you to take pictures and then translate via that picture. This would come in handy if you're in a foreign country and you see a sign that's in a different language that you don't know. You could snap a picture and then get the translation. Now, if we swipe the other direction, you're gonna see all of those different things that we went through inside the Insights tab. So we could select things like face-to-face translation, operations assistant, settings, or even global internet. You do get 2 free years of global internet. However, you could also insert a SIM card. One last feature before we get started testing this out are going to be these 3 little dots here at the bottom. If you click on those dots, it will bring up this little settings screen here, and you can click on offline translation. This is where you could download offline languages if you don't have access to internet. There are quite a few different options to choose from. For example, we have English to Chinese and English to Spanish that we could download. For our first test, I want to keep things extremely simple and straightforward, so I'll slide up here on the screen to select the language. My language, of course, is going to be English, and for my second language, I will select Spanish. And for that Spanish, we will select Spanish Mexico. You're going to have 2 little mics here at the bottom. The orange one is going to be for your language, and the blue one is going to be for the target language. This is going to allow you to talk back and forth with another person if you need to. But for me, I'm just going to press and hold on this, and I'm going to say, hello, how are you? Hello, how are you? Notice how it keeps a record of the translation, and there's a little volume icon here so you could hear the translation.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
And really, the microphone and sound quality isn't that bad for how small this device is. Let's go ahead and try another sentence in Spanish. What do you do for work?
¿A qué te dedicas?
And you'll notice that it accurately heard me and translated correctly. Now I want to change my target language. Let's go with French this time. Where is the restroom?
Où sont les toilettes?
Here you'll actually notice that it was a female voice instead of a male voice that time. That's very interesting that it changed to a female voice based on a different language. Let's go ahead now and try Japanese, and I'm going to ask the same thing. Where is the restroom?
トイレはどこですか?
So you'll notice that it translates correctly every single time you use it. For our next test, I want to do a longer sentence to see how well it translates and how long it takes to get the translation. We'll go ahead and stick with Japanese. Hello, how are you doing today? I am from America and I would like to know where the nearest ramen restaurant is.
こんにちは。今日はお元気ですか? 私はアメリカ出身で最寄りのラーメンレストランがどこにあるか知りたいです。
So that was within seconds that it translated that sentence, which is really cool because that was way longer than anything else I had said before. Now let's go ahead and test out the camera by taking a picture of this box and trying to translate iFlyTek Smart Translator. So we'll just go ahead and take a picture of this. It will scan the photo. It scanned the photo and it changed the logo and all of the wording into Chinese. In my opinion, that is really cool. In my opinion, that is really cool, and that would definitely come in handy reading signs in a foreign country. Next, let's test out face-to-face translation. The screen looks like this. My language is set to English and the target language is set to Indonesian. So I would just tap and it will start recording my voice and translating it into Indonesian. This would definitely come in handy speaking with another individual, because they could click on that blue icon and give you their response in their language, and it would translate it into English here at the bottom. There's also this little button here that flips it upside down if they are standing across from you. That would probably be one of my favorite ways to use this if I was having a conversation with someone. However, if I just had to ask a question, then I would use the main home screen where I just press and hold to speak, and it would use the audio format to translate. So now that we have thoroughly tested out the iFlyTek Smart Translator, I can confidently say that I would recommend anyone to buy this if they're looking for a new translator. The first pro to having a device like this is that it is extremely portable. Just look at the comparison size between my iPhone 11 Pro Max. It is significantly thinner and smaller, so it's easy to carry around with you in your pocket if you ever need it. Pro number 2 is that it is extremely accurate when translating. It didn't mess up anything that I said in all of our tests. That would make me a little bit more confident and at ease traveling with a device like this, knowing that it will translate accurately. The only con that I can think of is really just an unknown scenario, and that's whether or not the 2 years of free global internet would work in other countries or how well it would work. There's no way for me to test that out physically right now. However, I'm confident that it would work, but you could always invest in a SIM card. Overall, I can highly recommend this as a smart translating device. It's accurate, lightweight, and portable, and it has a simple user interface. In my opinion, it's worth buying. Thank you so much for watching this video review, and I hope that it helped. My name is David, and I do product reviews, product comparisons, and top 5 best videos in both the home and tech niches. If you're into that kind of stuff, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for when I release my next review.